Hello, friends. Please let me know that you can hear me because my computer has been acting up in the past 20 ish minutes that I've been getting ready for this stream. Also, disclaimer, if you see me looking to the side, it's because there's a hockey game currently on. Technically, there's two hockey games, one just started. Um, but the Professional Women's Hockey League, oh, thank you so much, has two games going on today. The one I'm watching, oh, did someone just score? I don't know, I have it muted. No, they're just going to take a break. I've been watching Ottawa and Montreal, and they are currently in second overtime. So, like, I have to keep watching until they finish the game, right? I'm not going to watch the other game. The other game is Minnesota and. Who's the other team? Toronto. Their game is starting now. I'll just check the scores when that's done. But yeah, my computer has been acting up. It disconnected my camera, and then my camera kept freezing once it was reconnected, and then it kept disconnecting my microphone. So eventually I just restarted it. And now everything seems to be working, but it's kind of slow to load things. Like if I click on the comments and stuff, it might take a second for the comments to pop up, but that's better than things not working. So we're going to go with it. We are here for productivity. I don't know how productive I'm going to be watching this hockey game, but it's fine. Let me know what you guys are going to be working on during the sprints while I'm watching this game. I will be doing my usual bullet journal stuff, and then I will be reading. I'm currently reading Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce, which is a YA like rom-com. It's so nerdy and fun. I am absolutely obsessed, so I'm very excited to get back to that when I finish my bullet journal stuff for the evening. So we've got a Crystal here, and we've got Susan. Hello, friends. How are you doing? Yeah, almost done. There's 10 minutes left in second overtime. Apparently, last year during the playoffs on May 11th, which is today, but last year's May 11th, the game went into triple overtime. So we'll see if that happens again this year. I don't know who was playing in that game, though. But, I'm too invested in this game to turn it off now. See, I think there are. Well, first of all, we did just move. Like, this is only the second stream I've done since moving, so it could just be things aren't connected exactly as they were. Like, there might be like a loose cable or something. But also, I'm pretty sure Jacob does have, like, he's upgraded his computer to like give me his old parts, and we just haven't put his old parts in, so I have like his old parts, if that makes sense. Like the pieces in my computer, because I'm watching the hockey game on my laptop. I should specify that's not at all connected to what I'm streaming from, because I'm streaming from the big computer. I think I do have slightly more recent things that could go into the computer, but that is Jacob's area of expertise. I will let him deal with that when he wants to. Yeah, it was just not having a good time today. Susan's formatting a short story, and that's fun. It is. This is so cute. So the main female character, Riley, is like a musical theater nerd, and her love interest Nathan is a like D&D type nerd, and just seeing them come together, it's also fake dating, which is one of my favorite tropes. They're fake dating so that she can get her ex-boyfriend off of her back, because he's like pitying her for not being in a relationship. So that's why she's like, actually I am in a relationship, and convinces this guy to fake date her. And he wants the girl that he's crushing on to like be jealous, so that's why they're fake dating, but that they're like actually falling in love, and it's really really cute. And she joins his D&D game, and she's a bard because she loves music and singing and stuff, and it's just so funny. I'm having a great time with this. Ooh, Hi, Haley. My thing skipped. But hello. I am just so scatterbrained today. Crystal's gonna be crocheting or might just vibe on my phone. Entirely valid. I understand the computer stuff being his problem. I do the same thing with Shannon. Not to fall into gender stereotypes, but I am technologically illiterate, and I leave that to my boyfriend. He can deal with that stuff. And Madison is here. Hello. Writing like a fiend in my sequel prequel. Tell me to work on the main story. No, don't. Can you explain sequel prequel to me, please? I'm curious as to what that means. Is it a sequel to the prequel of the main story? Or is it a prequel to the sequel of the main story? Or is it something else entirely? I don't know. It is. It's very cute. And it's quite short. So, like, I don't think I'm going to finish it tonight, but I'll probably finish reading it tomorrow. Then there's also apparently a second book called this one's Dungeons and Drama. The second one is Dating and Dragons, and it's part of the same series because it's also a D&D themed romance, but it's not involved with the first book. Like, it doesn't have any of the same characters or anything, which I think is kind of boring. I like romance series where there's like each book follows a different person in like a friend group. Like my D&D themed romance series, Roll for Romance, each of the 5 books follows a different member of this D&D game, like the players. But whatever. It's fine. It's not that big a deal. See, I like the tech, but I'd rather him break things than me because he just knows how more to unbreak it later. That's very fair. I think Jacob just left. I think I just heard the door. Did he text me that he's leaving? Oh, I think he did. Nope. He says still waiting to hear from the others. So I don't know. Was that my upstairs neighbor that just left? Am I being too loud? Am I yelling, guys? I need to stop. I feel like I'm being very loud suddenly. A door opened somewhere in my apartment and it made me aware of the fact there are other people here. Not in my apartment, in like the building. A sequel prequel. Yeah. Does sound neat. It's technically a prequel chronologically, but will be published after the main story because it kind of has to be read second, but like could be read first. So like how Day of Fallen Night takes place before Priory of the Orange Tree, but people still recommend reading Priory of the Orange Tree first? That sort of thing? Okay, thank you. I am glad that I'm not yelling. That happens a lot where I'm like unaware of how loud I am being. Very often, Jacob will be like, "You are screaming right now," and I'm like, "I'm just talking normally. I don't know what you're talking about." Okay, gotcha. I understand completely. Yeah, writing projects. I've been working on, of course, Salvation. I am on chapter. Let me check my tracker to see what chapter I'm working on because I don't remember. Come on, open to the page. I'm on chapter 38, and I expect this to have maybe about 15 more chapters. So I'm fingers crossed I can get it done. Gremlin is sneezing in the other room very loudly. Fingers crossed I can get this draft done by the end of the month because I just want to be finished with it. This is technically the second draft, but I did not write the second half of the first draft, so I'm like drafting it. So it's kind of annoying. But I've also got some shiny new idea stuff percolating in my brain. And also, of course, I'm just thinking of Whimsy. So I've got like 3 projects in my brain, kind of all like vying for attention. It's a little bit much, but it's fine. Everything's fine. That is an example I will now be stealing with credit to you. Go for it. I don't mind. You can take that. I'm really hoping someone scores. There's 3 minutes left in this second overtime, and I don't want it to go into third overtime. I have so many videos that I haven't watched, like people uploaded, because I've been watching this stream since 2 o'clock. I've been watching it for the past 4 hours. But, you know, it's fine. It's been an entertaining game. I feel like both teams have been playing pretty well. So, yes, all of the projects. I. Ooh, excuse me. I tried to list all of my main ideas for projects, and I got overwhelmed. So we're not going to think about anything other than what I'm currently working on right now, even though I have a billion other ideas that if I think about for more than 30 seconds, I'll be like, oh, I should work on that one. We're not going to think about them because I don't need any more. I am at maximum project capacity here. I'm so envious of people who can work on one project until it's done. I wish that was me, but alas, I am cursed to have way too many projects and ideas going on. Are you sure? Yes, Crystal, I cannot write 7 million books at once, unfortunately. The thing is though, like I can't really do much work on Whimsy because it's also like at the drafting phase technically, like I've got it outlined. So I don't want to be drafting that while I'm also technically kind of drafting Salvation. I don't want to do two projects that are at the same stage. So I think that's where Shiny New Idea was like, oh, it's my time to come in here because I get to be a brainstorming project. So I think that's why. The there's one moderator in the chat because it's a YouTube stream that I'm watching this hockey game on, and it's the same moderator for both games that are currently going. And she just messaged in the chat saying, I had both games open and heard she scores and was like, oh, but it's the other game. So someone in the other game scored. Good for them. I want this to end. I don't even have stakes in this game. I'm not like particularly rooting for one team over the other. I could just turn this off, but I've put so much time into watching this stream. And there's sirens going by. I wonder where they're going. Anyway, I should stop chatting. We should get into a sprint because I feel like I'm being annoying. I'm annoying myself right now. So we're gonna do a pizza wrap because I want to. Exactly. That's the thing. It's like it's not like I know when it's gonna end. Like there are 50 seconds left in this overtime period. They could score in those 50 seconds. Honestly, I might. Oh, no, I can't turn it off. I just want to watch other videos. It's fine. Everything is fine. I'm just being dramatic. We're going to do Pizza Rat Timer, and I'm going to stop yapping. That's not what it's supposed to look like. There we go. There I am. Yeah. So, we're going to do Pizza Rat. We're going to do a big chunky sprint. Feel free to break it up if you can't do 55 minutes straight. Do like a 30 and then take a 5-minute break and then do a 20. Whatever works for you guys. I could turn it off and just watch the replay when it actually ends, but at that point I'll know what the score is, and I won't want to watch it if I already know what the score is. And second overtime has just ended, and no one scored, so they're going to triple overtime. Ugh, that's so much hockey. These people must be so tired. Anyway, I'm gonna start the sprint and we will come back after these pizzas. Nope, these rats have enjoyed their pizza. That's what I was trying to say. So go get productive. Please be more productive than I am. And that was the end of our first sprint. Wow. Crazy to believe we've only done one, but it was almost an hour long, so understandable. We did have a Lindsay join us. Hello. Welcome. How's it going? Yeah, if any of you saw me a couple of minutes ago look like I lost the will to live, it's because third overtime ended and no one scored. So they're going into a fourth overtime. And I'm so tired. And I know it's the sunk cost fallacy, and I could just turn it off, but like I don't want to. I want to see someone score. So they will be starting their fourth overtime in a few minutes. Probably like 15-ish minutes, I think, are between rounds of overtime. Dang, it's crazy. Crochets have been crocheted. Nice. Oh, I did do my bullet journaling stuff while watching. I can show you my tarot card for the week because it's a really cute one that I don't think I've ever seen before, at least when using this deck. So it is the Page of Swords, and it's this funky little guy. He's so cute. I love him. So I did do my bullet journaling, and I also fed the cats. There are over 100 shots on goal between the two teams. That's insane. That's so many. Yeah, fourth overtime. Because in men's hockey, in the NHL, they only have a certain number of overtimes before they go to a shootout to try and finish it out that way. They don't have shootouts in the PWHL. They just keep doing overtimes. So they've essentially played 2 games back to back because they're full 20-minute overtime periods. And they've done 3 of them, and there are 3 periods in regular hockey. So they've essentially done 2 games. Crazy. They've been interviewing some of the players between the different periods of overtime, and you can see how exhausted they are getting. Absolutely wild. This is officially the longest game in PWHL history, which, granted, this is only the second season of the PWHL, but yeah, no game has gone to fourth overtime in PWHL before. Wild. It is. It's crazy. Yeah, but like, neither of them wants to just let the other team win. Oh, here come the odds. Oh my goodness, one of the members of the Montreal team, the Victoire, she was on the ice so far for 53 minutes total. That's absolutely insane. If you play a hockey game and you hit like 30 minutes total on ice, that's considered like being on the ice a lot. Because players are really only on the ice for like 30 seconds to a minute at a time because like they're constantly switching out and things are going so fast. But like, holy cow, 53 minutes. Insane. I don't know what this fun is about. Also, did I actually read this comment? That Lindsay's looking through old notes and making notes for the 4th novel. That's really cool, Lindsay. I'm excited for you. I don't know if I actually read your comment when I clicked on it. I'm just so distracted by this hockey game. Apparently, the Toronto-Minnesota game is really fun. They are in their second period right now, and it's currently 3 Montreal to 1 Toronto. Yes, it is a cute card. The whole deck is really cute. I'd be pissed, like, I just want to go home. The fatigue of being on the ice with all that gear. Yeah, that's gotta get heavy. And Haley did planning for the week and started putting laundry away during that sprint. Nice! I gotta do laundry tomorrow. I should probably also wash the bedding tomorrow, but I don't want to do 2 loads of laundry in one day, so bedding will probably happen later on in the week. Thank you. Thank you for being so gracious. Woo, Canadian sports. I'm a bad Canadian. I don't watch hockey. You should watch hockey. It's so fun. But yeah, there are 6 teams in the PWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League. 3 are Canadian teams, 3 are American teams, and only 4 make it into the playoffs. All 3 Canadian teams have made it into the playoffs, and of course, that means only 1 of the American teams have made it in, which is, of course, Minnesota. Hello, Wallace. Welcome. Just hit 5K words for the day. Great to see. That's awesome. Wanted to say hi. Gonna play Baldur's Gate 3 now. Have fun. That sounds great. I'm happy for you. I'm losing my mind watching a hockey game that is about to go into 4th overtime. So. Oh, they're showing clips from the other game in the intermission of this game, and apparently Toronto has scored again. So in 2 periods, the Toronto Minnesota game has scored a total of 5 times. We've had 6 periods in the Ottawa Montreal game, and we've got a total of 4. That's insane. Yes, BG3 break is great. Used to watch hockey growing up, then came one of those yay sports people. I'm like, I was been loosely a hockey fan my whole life. Like, my parents are super big into hockey, and so like I grew up watching it, but I was never really like invested. Like, I would know a couple of players' names for the Devils, and I would like know if the Devils got into the playoffs and that sort of thing, but I wouldn't really follow the season, you know? But this year, one of Jacob's friends invited us to a PWHL game to go like live, and we actually went to 2, one in January and one in March. And it was really fun. And then I learned that they live stream the games on YouTube, so I can just watch them for free without having to like have a TV cable subscription or whatever. So I'm kind of just in my hockey era again. And it's great. I'm like actually into hockey. I'm learning all of the different people. For example, there's a player named Campbell, and so everyone calls her Soup, which I think is really funny, or Soupy. That's adorable. Yeah. I don't know. I'm glad that I have a new hobby. Thank you. I feel like I don't have very many hobbies. I read and I write and sometimes I play D&D and that's about it. Maybe I was trying to convince Katie Ann to write a hockey romance the other day. But if I ever become a full-fledged romance writer, you bet I'm going to be writing hockey romance, because that's actually very popular as a genre right now, is hockey romance. But it's like it would be a male hockey player, and there would be like the usual pattern is like it's a fake team, and the whole series follows a different player each team or each book. If I did it, it would be professional women's hockey, and they would probably mostly be sapphic because I don't know. I like writing queer characters. I was, like I mentioned earlier, I was making a list of, or trying to make a list of all of my projects and gave up because it was overwhelming. And I was just looking at them and I'm like, dang, I didn't do it on purpose, but like literally all of these are queer. Like it kind of just happens. And I'm not mad about it. But yeah, ooh. What am I gonna do this next sprint? I promise we're gonna do another sprint. I think, oh, they just started the period, the overtime period. So I think I'm going to, ooh, nice save. I'm gonna start the next sprint and try not to have a mental breakdown. I might get ice cream because we got ice cream and I really want some. So, we are doing Pizza Rat again because I feel like it. So I'll bring that up and it's not the right layout. There we go. I feel like I'm so low in this frame. But I'm scared that if I try and move my camera, it'll disconnect. Oh, apparently Minnesota scored in the other game again. Why do they get to keep scoring and no one can score in this game? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start the sprint so that you guys don't have to deal with me and you can get going on all of your stuff. So we're gonna do the pizza rats again because they're really cute. And we'll come back in another 55 minutes and 55 seconds to chat probably about more hockey, if I'm being honest. Okay, friends, that is the end of our second sprint. I think my boyfriend just got home literally with 5 seconds left, so hopefully he doesn't try and come in here and talk to me. I did see we've had so many friends join us during that sprint. We got friends all over the place, and another one, and more friends. Wow, hello. How's it going, you guys? Where did I leave off? Oh, yes, you're talking about how the other hockey game was scoring so much. It's because they're not exhausted playing 4 overtimes. That's why they're scoring. If you ignore my spelling mistake, I did update you that Montreal won with less than 5 minutes left into the fourth overtime. So that means that they played for about 2 hours and 15 minutes of game. Wild. This was very funny. I like this set of emojis. Was walking downtown Toronto a little while ago on an evening when both the Leafs and the Jays were playing at home. Suddenly, from a bar literally 80 or 90 meters away on the other side of the intersection, I heard a loud cheer. Figured the Leafs have scored. That's fair. Canada hasn't won the Cup since '92, if I'm not mistaken. I wonder if this could be the year. Perhaps. The game that I was watching, I assume you're talking about the NHL here. The game that I was watching was the PWHL, the Women's Hockey League, and there's a great chance of Canada winning because 3 of the 4 teams in the playoffs are from Canada. I mentioned that earlier in the stream, I think, but there are 6 teams in the PWHL. 4 of them make it to the playoffs. All 3 of the Canadian teams have qualified. 1 of the 3 American teams has. So the game that I was watching was Montreal versus Ottawa. Right now, I can look up who's winning, actually. Currently playing is Toronto versus Minnesota. So, oh my god, this is quite the score. Minnesota currently has 7, and Toronto's got 4, and there's 10 minutes left in the third. That's wild. They're getting so many goals. So yeah. I know Ottawa won last year, which was the first season of the PWHL. So we'll see if they can take home the second season as well. They're playing for the Walter Cup, is what it's called. And Lisa says I'm procrastinating. How many more sprints are there? We'll do one more sprint. I know normally I end at 9, so it's not going to be another pizza rat. We did do 2. It'll be like a shorter cooldown sprint, probably, but I'm not sure how long yet. Depends on how long we chat. Was planning to write. Still making coffee. That's fair. I finished watching the hockey game, and then I just got ice cream and started watching random YouTube videos. That was all I did that sprint. Finished another row and a half, and then my back started hurting, so I put it away. Valid. You've made great progress on your crochet today, though. That's nice. I'm in a cast, and it took nearly that whole 15 minutes to switch from bathrobe to pajamas. No! Is it one of your arms or something? You also don't have to answer. You don't have to talk about your medical whatever word I'm looking for, I don't know. You don't have to talk about that sort of thing on chat. I'm just curious. Yes. Gotcha. Are you a hockey fan, Michael? Crystal was talking about how she feels like a bad Canadian because she's not really into hockey. I have gotten back into hockey this year. I don't really have stakes in who wins for the PWHL. I'm kind of happy with anyone winning, which someone's going to win, so I'll be happy regardless. For the Stanley Cup playoffs, though, I was rooting for the Devils, and then they got knocked out in the first round. So now I'm rooting for the Capitals because Ovechkin is one of my favorite players, and he's on the Capitals. Fancy that. Laptops acting up tonight. Fingers crossed it behaves. Yeah, my computer was my like big computer that I stream on was acting up right before the stream. So thankfully we haven't had any issues since the stream started. But yeah, fingers crossed you get that under control and you can actually get some writing done. Ooh, left wrist fracture. Yikes. Are you a lefty? Or are you a righty? Are you at least a righty so like you can do most of the other stuff like fine? Because that would suck if you're a lefty and you've got to deal with that. 2 or 3 rows, which in a blanket is bigger than a queen. Yeah, your blanket is massive, Crystal. What percentage would you say you are finished with it? Because you're getting there, right? You're more than halfway, I think, from what I remember. I had mint chocolate chip, my favorite ice cream flavor. Whoa, let me click on it. Hello! Welcome. So many friends here tonight. Wow, I think this is the most people I've had concurrently watching a stream, like at one time. Well, that's what concurrently means. You can tell I'm really tired, guys. Like, I had to switch how it's going to fit on the bed, because it's just going to be too big by the time I finish. Michael's not really a hockey fan. Wow. I only just got back into hockey this year. I was very big into hockey as a child, and then I stopped watching it probably around like high school, college age. But yes, this year I've gotten back into hockey. I'm in my sports era. It's so much fun. It's a new hobby. Fraction going ice skating. No. Okay, I'm glad you're right-handed. That is a relief. At least you don't have to deal with that. Anyone else avoiding everything but the sprint? That was me yesterday with my writing. I kept thinking like, "Oh my god, I have to actually sit down and write." No, not yesterday. 2 days ago? I don't know. I was in a chapter that I really was not having a fun time writing, and I was doing everything I could to not write. 2 balls and a quarter left of yarn. And how many have you used? That's the question. Because you've been working on this for a while. So many Canadians here. Summoned by the hockey talk. Yes, started talking about hockey and the Canadians appear. So are you guys? Hello, are you a fan of hockey? Hello? Feel free to talk if you are. I'm curious. Who are y'all's teams? Yesterday and today, I was spite editing chapters for book one. Yeah. Crystal was messaging, having a very bad time, and I'm like, have you considered taking a break? But honestly, uh, listen, sometimes you do need to power through, sometimes you just need to let it rest. The issue is figuring out which one you need to do. Because, it's hard to figure out sometimes. Oh my god, Crystal, this blanket's gonna be huge! Dang. Nothing like a bunch of Canucks suddenly jumping out from the woodworks from the mere mention of hockey. It does feel a little bit stereotypical. Not gonna lie. I just got it back. Well, you know what you gotta do, Crystal, is take your time a little bit because I'm not gonna have the second draft of Salvation for you to read for a couple of weeks. So, like, you don't have to get through it super duper fast. Oh my god, what the heck? Dang. That's fair, though. I shouldn't stereotype. I am half Canadian, for anyone who is curious and might not know. My mother was born in Canada, and her mother is from Nova Scotia. That's where my Canadian family is from. I'll post an update pic on Insta tomorrow when there's better light. I'm looking forward to seeing this monstrosity. Yeah, switching from bathrobes to pajamas is a whole journey when you're in a cast. Mm-hmm. Super secret stew lore. That I almost tripped up so badly saying that. That was a tongue twister, and I didn't even expect it to. Exactly what you'd expect from a Canadian, but my uncle used to play for the Leafs. Crazy. That's really sick. Yeah, I guess we are just gonna be swapping again. It's really fun because I've done your copy edits, and then I gotta do your proofreading. I gotta get those last little bits. Y'all are out here crocheting full blankets, and I'm struggling to finish a sentence. I am not out here crocheting anything. I tried, and it did not go well. Crystal is out here crocheting. I am not. I'm crocheting because I can't finish a sentence. That's really funny. I am born and raised in New Jersey, but now I live in Philadelphia. I've lived in Philly for, well, I've lived in and around Philly for most of my adult life because I went to college sort of near here, not quite at the city, but nearby. And then I moved here um, in 2021. So that is why I am, in fact, a Devils fan, very proudly. It does hurt me a little bit to live in Flyers territory, but you know, we all have our burdens. Do I give off Canadian vibes? I mean, I am half Canadian, I guess. But interesting. I had someone tell me that I give off tall vibes, someone online. Um, and I'm like, well, I'm not, but thank you. About. I don't say about. My grandmother does. My grandmother also says y'all, though. I say y'all because my Canadian grandmother says y'all. I don't understand. Low-key terrified I'm going to implement these edits and I'm just going to make more mistakes and we'll never get to proofreading. There aren't that many edits to make, Crystal. Like, there were like 2, maybe 3 bigger edits, and I trust you completely to get that squared away. Like, you know what you're doing. You know this story inside and out, and you'll get there. I am also a bagels fan. I do really love bagels. I do give off Canadian. Wow, I give off 5-4 Canadian? What part of Canada, though? Which province do I give off the vibes for? Now I'm curious. I am, in fact, 5'2", and only half Canadian. I'm super chill. I do give off Canadian vibes. Wow. Huh. I don't know what to do with this information. Okay, it's different. I'm starting to hear it. I've come to the conclusion that I want to go back to college. Lisa, when I tell you that literally 2 days ago I spent several hours looking into grad school, please know that I'm not exaggerating. I am also in this I have to go back to school kind of, or I want to go back to school kind of vibe. I don't know if it's going to stick, but just know I'm thinking it. As someone who just escaped, no, run. Oh, I have a hiccup. Oh, that was painful. If you trust me, maybe there's a chance, although I do have to draft a chapter for my spineless lackey character. Valid. What team are you going for? The New Jersey Bagels? I 100% would root for a team called the Bagels. Are you kidding me? That sounds hilarious. Yeah, not us being the same person. I was gonna say Ontario, but I live in Ontario, and a lot of Ontarians are assholes, so maybe not. I mean, I feel like a lot of New Jerseyans are also assholes, and yet I manage to be a nice person. I try my best. I have my moments, but I try my best. Yeah, we'll see. What really pushed me is that last week. Oh, so the reason I didn't stream last week is because my sister was graduating from graduate school. So my sister now has her master's in public health. How exciting is that? I'm so happy for her. But I was like, dang, do I want to go for my master's? She's going for her doctorate next, and I'm like, girl, master's would be where I draw the line. I would not go beyond that. This is crazy, going way further. It's so many. So many years. I'm a big learner, so my little brother just graduated college, and I went to two of his ceremonies, and it made me want to go back. Yes, I understand completely. New Brunswick? Where's New Brunswick? I don't know where that is. I'm very bad at geography. Time to Google. My boyfriend and I were playing around on Google Maps earlier today, and we found a place that was like restricted in the middle of Asia. It was very interesting. Oh, it's like right by Nova Scotia. That would make sense because I am ancestrally from Nova Scotia. Huh. There's a town in New Jersey called New Brunswick. That's where I used to go bowling. New Brunswick. Oh, hello, Eva. Welcome. Maybe at this rate of all the chatting, we're not going to get another sprint in. We'll see. My husband just started courses towards BA. He's been in his career for a very long time. That's exciting. I'm happy for him. And Stu is excited about a fellow Ontarian. Every time someone says Canada might win this year, a hockey fan somewhere flinches. I called my sister a nun? What did I say? I said she graduated from graduate school and she's got her master's in public health. Huh. Also, there was a girl who I knew from my school who started with me in 2016 who just graduated with my brother at another college. So that was weird. It was a little bit weird. But congrats to her for finally graduating. That's sick. Celebrations. People who believe Canadians might win this year are the optimists we need in this world. I'll never understand people who enjoy uni. I have a master's, but it's because I had no choice. So much debt, but learned so little. That's how I feel about undergrad. I have so much debt, and yet here I am with my English degree. And I don't know. But I feel like if I were to go back, I've been looking at getting a master's in library and information sciences, which I feel like would open doors. I feel like it's niche enough to like actually be a field instead of just like get a job anywhere, like they said with an English degree, but it's not super niche that I will struggle to find a job, you know? St. John, New Brunswick. Oh, it jumped. St. John's, Newfoundland. Interesting. What happened? Oh, Crystal saying hey for your sister was like, sister. Oh. Okay. Her name is Caitlin. I feel like I can say that. I feel like she'd be fine with me saying her name. I'm okay. I'm just slow right now, Crystal. Nisa says I learned so much in college. MLIS is cool, yes. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just something I was thinking about. Me after college. I tried so hard and got so far, and in the end, debt is all that seems to matter. Yeah. Ugh. I loved uni, not the price, but just the learning. I feel like I just thrive better with structure. Autism. I wanted that degree at 1.2 Mars. We were the same person. Lisa, let's go get our master's degrees together. How about that? Mars joining a convent. Oh yeah, I'm thinking we don't do another sprint, friends. I'm thinking we just chat for a little bit and then go to bed. I misread Crystal's comment both times. Let me make this bigger so I can actually see. Amen. It shouldn't be weird so late at night. Ah, that's fair. Well, I'm in no rush. You get that squared away. I'll just chill here. You let me know. I've been empowered by Alyssa to admit I don't like learning, at least not when it's forced. I like doing the actual thing much better. That's valid. But honestly, let's go. Let's do it. Let's see who else can we rope into this. I'm sure we could get like at least one other person in on this scheme. Maybe Katie Ann. Katie Ann seems like the kind of person who would do this. Maybe I'm just saying that because she's also very similar to us, Lisa. Yeah, chat. You can really see my bookshelves nicely here. Sorry, I got distracted by my own camera. Like, the visual. Party time. Maybe not party time. That's a little high energy for me right now. Chatting and napping sounds like the best idea. It's not napping, Crystal. It's almost 9 p.m. It's almost bedtime. I'm trying to write through existential dread tonight. Yeah. Sometimes it be like that. I will cheer on your scheme from over here. Thanks, Crystal. Thanks, man. Oh boy. I think I need to lay down in bed with my computer and just watch videos in bed. I think that's where I'm at right now. Do I have any updates? Naps are just sleep that don't last as long, and I don't sleep for long, so naps. You got me there. I will give you that one. Oh my god, my eye is starting to water. Okay. I won't be here next week because I'm going to a concert, but I should be here the week after, which is the 25th, I believe. So it would be like another normal Sunday stream. A nap is longer than a rest. Yeah, because I don't think you have to fall asleep to be resting. I think you can be resting and still be awake. It's more of just like a small thing, and then a nap is actually sleeping. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, exactly. I'm glad we cracked it. We're doing great, guys. I'm gonna push all the buttons. Thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. It's been really great. Thanks for listening to me ramble about hockey for most of the stream. I hope you guys were able to get something done. I said during Zara's stream that being awake is just the time between naps, Crystal. That's really funny. Michael, I have to. I'm gonna fall asleep on camera, and that'd be embarrassing. We can talk about hockey in 2 weeks when more games have happened. Will the playoffs be over by then? Not probably not for NHL, right? I don't know about the PWHL, which I don't even watch. Yeah, I am holding up the entirety of chat's hockey watching. Thank you for hanging out. Okay, I'm gonna stop defending myself and I'm just gonna push buttons. If I can find the right ones. There we go. Bye, friends. I'll see you in 2 weeks.